I can officially say good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Great Leadership Awakening Virtual Summit. Thank you all for joining. Really, this entire week has been so incredible, and the audience, you've shown up live, you've shared your support, your questions, your enthusiasm. We've got 2 more sessions to go, and I'm so excited to be joined today by the founder of Elimu Girls, a 501c3 based in Kenya, and the organization that will receive the proceeds from the first 3 months of the book sales for the Great Leadership Awakening. Cindy, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. We are so grateful for this opportunity, to all the authors, to yourself, to be the recipient. And I speak on behalf of the Elimu Girls. Asante Sana.
Well, you're so welcome. And for those of you who don't know, there's sort of 2 origin stories here. One is when I first founded this company, I was really being schooled in conscious leadership. And one of the principles of conscious leadership, if you've read the book, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, is to seek win for all solutions. And so as I really was exploring the challenge of, when you bring authors together, like, what do you do with the proceeds when you have so many people contributing? It just made sense in looking for a win for all solution to seek out nonprofit partners that we could wholeheartedly get behind to share our proceeds with. And in the original version of the company, what I would do is have individuals nominate nonprofits that they were really passionate about. And as a group, we would vote on them. And so back in 2021, with the launch of Significant Women Leaders Reveal What Matters Most, that's when one of our authors, Tina Welsum, who knows you so well, Cindy, suggested Elimu Girls, and everyone was like, yeah, we want to support Elimu Girls. And since then, you've just become such an important partner and someone I admire and love to just learn from and share with. And so this time around, we didn't even put it out to vote. We just said, okay, yes, we want to go with Elimu Girls. And it makes sense since this is about leadership. So I'm grateful that you're here, that we're supporting you in this way, and for Tina for bringing us together. And I'd love for you to just, in kind of the simplest way, describe what Elimu Girls does and why it exists. And then I want to dig into a little bit of what does $1,000 do? And of course, we have a special guest with us, so we'll talk more about who this is in just a moment. But what is Elimu Girls?
Elimu Girls is a 2-year sewing and boarding program. But it's so much more than just a sewing, learning the craft of sewing. We help girls who are off in an area called Malindi. It's called Kayleigh County. And 1 in 3 of our girls have gone through female genital mutilation. And 1 in 4 of our girls is subject to child bride. And so we focus on girls who are in these remote villages, and really to help 2 things. 1, to impact social change and these cultural practices. And as they become educated, they will not practice that themselves. And the girls in the village, the moms, the aunts, and even the brothers and the uncles and the dads will witness, which is the second thing that we impact, which is this economic empowerment aspect. And so when she graduates from our program after 2 years of working with teachers day in and day out about the psychology of being an entrepreneur, about feeling worthy, about having a sisterhood, a safety net, and learning a micro business model. When she graduates with 2 assets, a sewing a sewing machine and a table. The very next day she goes back home and sets up shop. And whether it's under a babao tree or, somewhere simple in the village, the idea is that she's generating income right away. And what that does is that radically changes the position in her family. So when we talk about economic empowerment, she really has changed her situation in her family, where she will not be subject to child bride, because there's really not a chance that the family is going to let her go. She's an income generator, and she can help with, purchasing medicine, helping run the shamba, which is many of them, harvest their own, vegetables, corn. And And that's probably the biggest pleasure of ours, is that just that social impact is really felt in the village. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's us in a nutshell.
Hmm. And I love how you describe it about giving women a voice, a choice, and a bank account. It every time I think, I'm like, ooh, this is what, it is sewing, it is all of this, but there's, as you just shared, such a bigger mission or bigger thing that happens when these girls learn the skills that you teach them. And I know you were just back in Kenya and it sort of sparked a lot of new ideas for you, but just to give our audience and our authors and our supporters an understanding, like if we're to donate $1,000 or $2,000, like what does that help? Like
Yeah.
what does that help provide on the ground?
Yeah, I'll start on the lower side and then we'll go up to the higher end. But $250 provides a sewing machine and a table, which, when we talk about solopreneurs or entrepreneurs starting a business, there's so many more things involved for us in America. But over there, it really is that simple, where the next day they can go out and start, buying the basics. That's for $250, and for $665 you could basically pay for a year of her very first year of living at the college and her first year of education. And for $1,600 you essentially can really link arms with this girl on the other side of the world who is so worthy for a 2-year sewing and boarding all-inclusive program. And I always say, we just sort of like open the door and she kicks it wide open. So we're really, I see the exchange very, two-way, the give and take. They receive this incredible opportunity, a second chance at life, and which has such a ripple effect, like I mentioned, in their villages. And we receive, not only the gift of giving, but also, we provide individual like videos that come from the girls. When you sponsor a girl, then we'd really try to drive a connection. I think that's what makes us so unique and boutique as an organization. I mean, we are grassroots. They're not a statistic to us. Like I can name every girl in college.
Yeah.
And we know about them. We go, like, the scaling is providing touch points after they graduate, because these touch points are about, well, where are you struggling? Some of them are struggling to get customers, or they want to partner with someone else because they can't, they maybe aren't making enough money to have a sewing shop themselves. So they'll partner for a while. And what's the plan there? And then when are you going to be able to, get your own shop? So there's this safety net is really, the sisterhood, as we call it, is really important. And you also mentioned a voice, a choice, and a bank account. And I think the more I do this work, which has been about 10 years, my goodness, that's exactly what we want in the States for females: a voice, a choice. So I started using that at the very beginning to express really what we're doing for them. And the truth is, it's what we're doing for each other.
And it's what we all want. If I
It's
think
what
of
we
the theme
want.
of today, our conversation earlier with the women of wealth, with Adapia and Jennifer, and this whole experience which is about giving us a space to use our voices, to increase our influence, to connect on deeper levels. It's like, this is the universality that we're all experiencing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, when I talk about reaching a girl on the other side of the world and absolutely changing her life, it's like, it's only a plane ride away. That's about how simple it is. And I've had the pleasure of, the body warmth of sitting in a room with these very eager, these girls that really feel a lot of gratitude that they have been chosen, and they know, with their parents' support, of course, but going back to the village is a big part of them being a role model.
And, I just really feel, over the last 3 years with our book proceeds, we've supported a few different organizations, but they've been large national organizations. And so when you talk about working with you and this feeling of connection and being a boutique and knowing all of the girls there, that's really what's spoken to me about our partnership, is that level of intimacy. Like, intimacy is what I care most about. It's like, let's go deep And that's what this partnership offers us. It's, when you share with us the pictures of girls reading significant women on your visit and videos from that, it's like, that means everything to me, to our author community, because we want to feel like we have that connection. So I thank you for doing that.
I've worked with different nonprofit consulting companies and helping us grow. And I think always the challenging part for us is when you scale, when we talk about scaling and the many nonprofits out there. And one core value of ours is to retain intimacy, that they're absolutely not a number. I honestly would rather sort of like, I'm okay with exactly what we are, because we make change, we make very real, impactful, direct change. When a girl, when in the few cases where we've had a girl drop out or struggle, we course correct, because we're able to we figure out well, what happened? What's going to happen? Get you back into the college, or let's figure out, we had a situation where one of our alumni, it was a couple of years ago when I went out there to visit. She was so excited. She had a ring. She was getting married. And I come to find out maybe 8 months after that point in time, she came back to us and said, I'm really struggling because, and I said, well, how are things going? Well, things are going great. Things are going really, really well. Okay, what's the problem? Well, my mother-in-law wants my husband to take on a second wife because because the business is doing so well. There isn't someone to take care of the chores at home. And that one hit me, hit hard. And we helped facilitate that situation where, Janet had a short separation from her husband, and it was a choice. She wasn't okay with her husband taking on a second wife. And had she not been able to generate income, that would not have been a choice for her. And so I think there's lots of education that happens, and I've learned to be much less judgmental of the mother-in-law, these are practices. Yeah. And so, that's a.
So last week, it was so fun that we got to launch this book in LA, where you live. You got to be at the launch party, and you introduced us to some dolls that the girls have been making and learning how to make. And unbeknownst to me, my aunt, who was at our party as well, you guys all saw me break down in tears as I introduced her. My aunt sent me a package that arrived in the mail yesterday, and I opened it to find that she had purchased and sent me this doll. And then I just noticed today that it came with this card and was made by
Miriam,
whose dream is entrepreneurship. She wants to help her daughter. She sews dresses for rag dolls, and making this doll changed my life for the better.
Yeah.
Tell us about Miriam. Tell us about this work.
Yeah, so Pendo means love in Kiswahili. And during COVID, when COVID first started, Kenya shut down the schools, and much like everywhere around the world. And we were scrambling to keep the girls in school because we were nervous that if they went home to their villages, they may get married off, frankly. And so we quickly pivoted within I think a 6-month timeline to producing masks. That was the first thing that we started to do. So we kind of changed to a business in the sense that we could be open. And during that time, we had these paper dresses. So the very first year, the girls sew on recycled paper or corn maze paper because material is so expensive. And so they're learning to, create patterns and so forth. So we kept racking our head, what can we do with these paper dresses? What can we do? Maybe we can, partner with a doll company. And basically out of these conversations, why can't we actually make the dolls ourselves? We have artisans. And that's kind of how it was born. And it was ambitious and messy. We were downloading Etsy patterns, between continents. And the girls really struggled. It was difficult for them to learn to embroider the eyes. Like the very first renditions were terrible. But they stuck with it. I was so proud of them. We've never created a doll before. We decided to use these little, if you would hold that up again, Kayleigh.
Yeah.
The doll dress
Oh,
is from Paris fashion collection that our girls prepared in 2019 for a company called Tomfoolery, and they did like a work for hire. And so we mirrored what they did in Paris, and it was so organic, and it kind of just came together. And they were interviewed by local one national TV station. They were on podcasts, and hearing them speak and laugh and loosen up in front of these, professionals, the sort of more of a national stage. I mean, the growth that happened with Pendo dolls was like a hero story. I mean, it really, the day that they showed the Paris fashion show, these girls huddled around a television, there in Melindy, watching their designs walk across the world stage. And it's just, it's like we talk about magic and the impossible. And it's just these girls, when you believe in someone, man, it's like you just rocket launch them to the next universe. So yeah, so Pendo is our artisan doll, and we are really looking for opportunities to partner. We partnered with a company called T Collection, which is a fashion brand, a children's fashion brand in San Francisco. They came with us last year to Kenya, and to help collect inspiration from the East Coast of Africa. They worked with our girls for a few days, and we're doing a collaboration doll with them, which will launch next year. But I think, we're looking for opportunities to partner, to find, I guess, channels really to share Pendo for buyers that, are looking to make an impact.
Because what you've shared with me, and like this story right here, is the shift to maybe social entrepreneurship, to fair trade, to now creating this business that allows these women to support themselves in even bigger fashion than what they're able to do right now.
That's absolutely correct. We are in the process right now. When I go back out in May, just a few short months, we're really going to be looking at how to create a women's collective. Frankly, it's not in my wheelhouse. It's not in any of our wheelhouses. This is an area of growth for us. And so we're going to go out and look at models that have been successful in Kenya. We partnered with a local luxury brand in Nairobi, Carol Kanati, who works with the Masai Mara and does like empowerment fashion. We're really trying to pull in pieces where we can begin to pay our girls, our alumni, a fair wage, and not only just feed their tummies, but begin to buy cattle, begin to buy, plots of land. I mean, we really want from the ground up to change how women are seen in this patriarchal community. Yeah.
Well, I love already we're seeing in the chat what a small world it is. Lisa saying that she used to run brand for T Collection.
Wow, that's amazing.
Who knew? And I want to invite, if anyone has any questions or come off mute and just share, please do. We have a few more minutes, and I'll wrap us up with the comment and final question. But before I do that, I want to thank our authors who are here on the call: Linda, Lisa, Mary. Who else can I see? The mayor's supporting, Shamika supporting again from USBI. Yes. Any questions for Cindy about Elimu, about the mission, or just words of support and affirmation? And I'll drop in the link to Elimu Girls directly in the chat too.
I was wondering if you know yet, Kayleigh, how much so far we've raised through the book sales. Any idea? Because that would be fun to know.
No idea. Have not looked,
Okay.
have not checked. And what's actually really unique about this time around is before we used to just donate like first week of digital sales, and we're now extending that to the first 3 months, which is helpful because that's just how Amazon pays out anyway. And so digital, print, like Amazon will take their portion and then the rest will go to Elimu girls. And so we're gonna slow roll this where we'll have a big announcement with the final dollar amount, and we'll invite the world to match it, of course, and throw some extra support to our favorite partners.
Well, let's see if we can get those ladies from Tea to give a little extra money, Cindy.
Yeah. I like the
I'll
way-
reach out to Lee.
There you go.
That's
And-
so
and
cool. Yeah,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
have my mic on earlier, but I just wanted to say it was so great to meet you, Cindy, last week. And I'm definitely going to buy a doll. So my question was like, where's the link? And I should have picked one up when I saw you, but I wasn't sure if those were just display or what. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Please go over to our website, and under our shop, we sell the paper dresses as well. We've collaborated with like graffiti artists, a few different artists around the world to really sort of mark their story on it. And so we sell the paper dresses as well. But yes, I would love if you purchased a Pendo doll. I actually have a request that I wanted to make, and Kayleigh, maybe we can coordinate this, is leaving a tribute video from this book for our girls, so everyone can maybe like do a 1-minute video and literally leave a message, a video message for our girls. We've done something like this in the past, and I tell you, they must have rewatched that video like 30 or 40 times. I mean, not only watching and learning English, but I think, the staff has shared with me when they watch these videos, like the something about the voice and the resonance and the impact of seeing a person that actually really cares about them. Like, this is the work that is the juice for me with, running a nonprofit. And I never question the why of what I do, but sometimes the how is messy. But that's okay. But this piece of making a connection is really important. And if you have any suggestions for us, I'm all ears. I answer all the social channels. I know that Linda has connected me with some potential partners, and I just we're open. We want to grow, and we want to grow both programs, both the girl, helping the girl and giving her a second chance, her being, learning the beautiful trade of sewing. But as we move into this like artisan space, it's new for us, but we also want to grow that. They're master craftswomen. They can, make backpacks, maybe make, beautiful napkins, table runners. So we're looking to grow in this global market space. And, of course, the Pendo dolls are our baby.
I just imagined one of the dolls with purple hair, like to go with the theme of the book and like standing out, kind of interesting. But I know the authors in this book would love to contribute to a video. I know before you sent me a link and I submitted one it was super fun, really easy to do. So yeah, you and I just coordinate. That technology that we used was really fun and easy.
When I go with May, I'd love to share that with them. I think that would be really fun.
And Lisa asked if you know or are connected to the Little Market.
Yes, I absolutely know about the Little Market. I love following their story. They unfortunately are not taking any more artisans right now, but yes, we do. In fact, someone that was on our board has a history, used to work with the Little Market as well. So yeah, definitely familiar with them, and it's such a great model for kind of getting a sense of the global, like these beautiful products that are handmade and just beautiful in your home. Thank you, Lisa.
Well, Cindy, I want to thank you so much for partnering with us, for allowing us to support in this way, for the mutuality, for the intimacy, for the depth, for, like these little things, right? That just, they mean so much, they matter so much. And for also planting the seed too, that scaling can often be about, it's like going deeper versus just like going bigger and more scattered. It's like you're trying to go even deeper and provide this broader network for these women. And I feel like that connects to the message of this book, The Leadership Awakening, where so many of us are saying, wait, let's go deeper, let's go within and reconnect from that place versus just scattershot everywhere. And so I thank you. I thank our authors, I thank our audience, and I thank Miriam, my Aunt Carolyn, and Priska for being here with us today on the call.
I mean, congratulations to all of you. So well done. You know, we talk about bravery and boldness for our girls. And, you know, imagine being the first to, crush the patriarch, I guess. And it is tough. And I know it's hard to put your stories out there. And just know that they're so well received. I cannot wait to take the hand, you know, the authors sign the book. So we're very grateful. We applaud you for setting the example around the world for women sharing their stories and how vulnerable that space is. That it's just what makes us so special as women.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. To our boldness, to our bravery. Thank you, Cindy. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you.